Nowadays, building a house requires that you go by certain safety guidelines. How well are you building your house? This is Barry Phillips with 10-minute tour, day 3 of Teitze, when you go out. Let's go over to Deuteronomy chapter 22, Deuteronomy 22, and read verse 8, which says, "When you build a new house, then you shall make a parapet for your roof so that you do not bring blood guilt on your house when one falls from it." Having spent some time in Israel, had the occasion once to be a guest in a home, not just a hotel or something, but we lived for about a week or so in someone's house. And true to Israeli styling, the roof is a flat roof with a wall around the perimeter, about roughly waist high. Cobblestone style or terracotta is the right word, style shingles on part, but an open roof on part. The parapet wall is indeed effective in keeping you from accidentally falling off the edge a bit. So there is still this application of a Torah principle that you have a safety barrier. Notice here that it says when you build a new house. Most of us were raised traditionally in whatever culture or upbringing environment that we came from. Many of us came from a denominational background of some sort. Now many of us are also into a new house. We have rebuilt, at least remodeled our homes, spiritually speaking. And doing so, the Torah says, be sure that you prevent those who are in your home or at your home from falling. Yeshua warned us in Matthew chapter 24 about a great time of deception where many would fall, that cold love would prevail, false prophets, false messiahs, times of deception, even warned that if he did not shorten those days, that even the chosen, the elect ones, would be deceived. So as we construct our spiritual house, we want to make sure that we employ such safety guidelines, adhering to requirements of construction so that those in the house do not fall away. I've been told that I had an upbringing that most people didn't have. When I grew up in my family's home, my parents loved each other and demonstrated that love to each other. It was not uncommon to walk in the kitchen after Dad got home from work and find Mom and Dad hugged up in the kitchen and Dad winking at us over Mom's shoulder. There wasn't yelling and screaming and throwing of things at one another. Well, at least my parents didn't do that. Sometimes the siblings had to be pulled apart, and that's another story. But we had a good upbringing. As such, I and my siblings have enjoyed a more solid family lifestyle than many. And it comes from the roots of my parents and my dad's parents. And for that, I'm extremely thankful. I say that to say this, that when we not only read the Torah and keep Shabbat and feast days and the more surface level things of the Torah that it's most broadly understood, that's good, and we applaud that. But the details of the Torah about showing honor to one another and forgiving and restoration and reconciliation and fair business and so on, the things that we don't normally hear about in the Torah or spoken about from the Torah. When we do these things, what we're also doing is we are building that parapet wall so that those that are in our house see that we not only go to Shabbat services or read the Torah or study the scriptures or walk after Messiah, but we do it with integrity. We do it all the time, that it is not just just a token thing. It has become our very living and lifestyle, our very essence of being. Yeshua says in Matthew chapter 16, verse 18, he says, "Upon this rock I shall build my assembly, and the gates of Sheol shall not overcome it." What is it that he is building that upon? And that is that he is the Messiah, the Son of the living Elohim, the living mighty one, the living power of Israel, the faithful covenant giver, Israel. So knowing who Yeshua is vital to having a secure wall and perimeter. Unfortunately, I've known those that have left wherever it was that they were, some denominational setting for the most part, and they came into a study of the Torah and the balance of Scripture based upon it. And initially, they started out well. This is new. It's invigorating. It's exciting. We're learning. We're grasping things that we were never taught before. And progress in their life is being made only to be convinced. I'll use that word. They were deceived and convinced that they needed to abandon Yeshua for a fuller expression of traditional rabbinical Judaism. Not throwing a stone at Judaism or those who are practitioners of, but when you leave Messiah to go to that place, it's a step backwards. You're losing what the Torah is the one who the Torah is pointing you to. You are deconstructing the parapet. I have never found anyone who is left following Messiah Yeshua to follow then the tenets of just reading the Torah and that's it. To ever have any joy, to have any expression of happiness in their life. For the most part, what I've seen them to become is argumentative and bitter and resentful and angry, to be honest. Neither can we give up our connection to our destiny. The Torah points us very explicitly. Here is, in this Torah portion, when you go out, Teitze, it's followed next week by Kitavo, where we could come back. This Torah portion gives us principles of restoration when you are out, when you're outside the land, when you have been in exile. Coming back to these principles, coming back to the various aspects that we read, it seems like it's just a scattering of different thoughts. But they're all connected in this. This is the lifestyle and the heart and the mindset, the personality and character of Yeshua the Messiah that causes us to experience restoration to the point that we will ultimately be brought back to our ultimate home and destiny, the land of Israel. The expanded borders version. Not going home to replace or push out anyone who was already there. But Yah will expand the borders to enable us to have a dwelling with Him in His kingdom. Therefore, we cannot abandon those who are holding the land in trust for us now. Let's be very honest. If it had not been for our Jewish friends and family and brothers who had held on to the integrity and the purity of the Torah until now, we wouldn't understand anything. We wouldn't have a reality of Messiah. We wouldn't have the Torah to return to. But with their own blood and the giving of their own lives, they have held on in trust the Torah and now the land of Israel for the coming kingdom. So don't abandon the Torah, don't abandon Messiah, and don't give up on Israel. And don't give up on 10-minute Torah. We hope to see you again tomorrow. To then, shalom.